Hello people, it's me again, Antoinette, the confident woman. So yes guys, as promised in my previous vlog, I will dedicate this vlog and the blog post to this pregnancy. I'm choosing to celebrate this pregnancy and all that it means to me, and in true confident woman fashion, I will be talking mainly from my perspective and experience. In addition, after some of the things that we've been through these past few months, making reference to what I spoke about in the last vlog, another reason why I'm doing this vlog is because with my first pregnancy, most people knew that I was pregnant from about week 4 or 5 because I was sick, off work, couldn't socialize, couldn't go to church. Basically, for the first 3 months, I was bedbound. It was that deep. And people obviously started to ask questions. What's wrong with her? Where is she? So we had to reveal that she's pregnant. She's going through like the whole pregnancy sickness, and it was extreme because I was throwing up 24/7. And obviously that for me wasn't something I was entirely happy with. So this time round, I treasured the fact that I didn't have to tell anyone until I wanted to, or until the bump actually showed. I just wanted that feeling, and it's like God granted me my heart's desires, because I was nowhere near as sick as I was with my first pregnancy. And I'm not saying this pregnancy has been hunky-dory, because it's come with its own challenges, especially the first few months. But comparing the two, I have so much to be grateful for. And you know, when I reflect back, looking back at the first pregnancy, I get really emotional because it was scary for me. I was scared, and I was scared because, one, I didn't think I was capable of being a mother. Because true to my nature, what I thought, I didn't think I had the whole maternal instinct thing going on. And I was majorly scared because of what people around me were saying. And you see, I'd had not to go into too much detail. Like when I had one of my first appointments with the midwife, I remember one of the comments she made. She presumed that I was on a diet, a strict diet, and she automatically said she's gonna like assign me to a dietitian, blah de blah de blah, because she wasn't happy about my weight and she didn't know if I would carry the child because of my weight. So obviously when you're hearing things like this and this is your first, you're like, what's going on? And I remember like having a conversation with my mum. She was like, why are you scared? Like, there is nothing for you to be scared about. But you know, when you hear things or comments that people made, I think I was like 7, 8 months, and I was obviously showing at that point. This is all relating to the first pregnancy. And I bumped into a woman that I had not seen for like a long time. And the first thing she said to me was like, oh wow, you're pregnant. How are you carrying it? How are you going to carry it? And how are you going to have the baby? And I was like, like, is that what you say to people? Obviously people, I don't know, people just don't think when they talk. There's just certain things you don't need to say. And that was the reoccurring thing that I constantly heard throughout. Even that same midwife that I was referring back to before, she actually booked me to have a C-section at around week 36, something like that, because she honestly didn't think that I would carry the baby to full term. And I did. I carried the baby to full term, gave birth to him naturally without any anesthetics. So it's like, people can put things in your head. They can make you fear for no reason whatsoever. I took on what they were saying as, oh my gosh, this is what's going to happen to me. And it didn't. And regardless of my size, I still carried the baby, and he was a big baby. So don't let people kind of stop you or put stumbling blocks in your way. That's what I'm trying to say. And I've mentioned this to you in previous vlogs. I've learned so much along the way in life that, you know what, you can't take on board people's opinions. They may look at you and judge you by your appearance, judge you by the way they perceive you, but that's not necessarily the truth. Well, it's not the truth. You take on board what you know you can do and what you're capable of doing. And if you don't know that yourself, no one else is going to like be able to, I don't know what the word is. You need to be strong within yourself. So hanging on to what I've just said, the second reason I'm doing this vlog is because I have consciously made a decision this year, henceforth, God help me, that I will no longer, or I will try to no longer be led by fear or make fear-based decisions. And you know, when you think about it, or when we think about it, most of the stuff that we do in life, or I've realized most of the things that we do in life, they're fear based. Most of it is, it's like, and if I'm going to be true to myself and live this confident, faith filled life, I am really going to have to get rid of this fear. And it comes in so many different formats, and that's why it's not easily recognized. So I was having a conversation with someone, and from my background, my ethnic background, people don't necessarily reveal when they're pregnant. And I'm not talking about, after the 12 weeks. I mean, you don't know that they're pregnant until like the bump shows, or until they've had the baby, kind of thing. And this is for a number of reasons. Obviously, there's a lot of like, you hear stories of things that happen to people and all of this, and people can do this and that, and because of the evil eye and the envy and everything. So obviously, people take certain precautions, and that's part of like, it's one of those things that you don't share. But I was thinking about it, and the conversation we were having were like, you know, it's kind of like rooted in fear that we're not going to do this or we're not going to do that because we fear what people can do to us. And we need to take the perspective that regardless of our background, and what people say people can do or what can happen, whatnot, you're not going to live your life based on fearing what could be or what can. And I need to be careful here, because I'm not telling people not to have discretion, and a lot of people like private lives. I like my life to be private, so I'm not saying go and share your business everywhere, no, I'm explaining why I'm doing this. I'm saying I'm doing this because I am no longer making decisions based on fear. So me revealing certain things to you is, I'm doing it because if I wasn't doing it, my decision not to do it was based on fear, that kind of thing. So don't get me wrong, we all need to have discretion. I'm not saying blast your business everywhere, no. Just trying to explain to you why I am doing certain things now. And most of all, with this journey that I've been on, it's been an encouraging journey for other people. I feel like I want to encourage other people that may be going through the same thing I'm going through. And if I can't reveal certain things, then there's in essence no testimony, no encouragement. So yeah, I'm putting myself out there knowing that no man can do me no harm. And just to add this in comparison to my first pregnancy, a lot of this pregnancy, I didn't feel pretty, I didn't feel beautiful, I felt and drained, and yeah. From day one, I could do dot to dot. I would look in the mirror and think, oh Lord, what's going on here? I mean, I broke out worse than I did when I was a teenager. I've never seen my face in this state before. And obviously stuff like that can really knock your confidence. And it did. It pulled me down, because I was just like, I felt like a hot mess. I was not only drained running after a toddler who seemed like he was on Duracell batteries, I was there dragging myself to work, doing XYZ with other family commitments and issues that were running at the same time. I think everything kind of just played a collective role, and I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good about myself, like how I looked and everything. And I feel like sometimes you get to that stage, but you need to keep reminding yourself about how do I put this? I was reminding myself constantly that regardless of what I look like now on the outside, this was temporary. I'm telling you, that's what got me through. This was just like temporary. Your skin ain't on fleek, but you know what? This is temporary, and it really did help me. I mean, there was one day I got up and I looked at myself and I was like, nah. I actually literally, it was like the whole works. Went hairdressers, got my hair done, my nails, my eyebrows threaded, and you know when you come out, you're like, "Ooh, yeah, I'm looking hot, looking good," that kind of feeling. And I got home, and my husband was at home by that time. I got home, and he did not acknowledge anything. Like, I was thinking, hold on, wait. You know when you're like moving, trying to get attention, like, yo, can you see me? Can you see the new me? Kind of thing. Nothing. And you know when your feelings just go like, brrr, yeah, I went upstairs and I was like in this self-pity mode for like a long time, just wallowing in like, oh, I'm not beautiful, I'm just looking so this and so that and everything, that whole thing. Anyway, cut this long story short, I had to pick myself up. I had to keep reminding myself of what I keep saying to you guys. It's about what's inside. And I'm not saying that outside appearance, blah, 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 doesn't count, but you need to make sure that you feel good inside regardless of what's going on the outside. Because if you don't feel good on the outside and you don't feel good on the inside, yeah. In all honesty, when I spoke to him about it a couple of days later, because I just thought I would bring it up, he was just like, oh, wow, he didn't know that I felt like that. Because he didn't see or didn't think that I looked bad or whatever, how I was feeling all this time. So he just thought, okay. And he was, regardless, like, not that that was an excuse not to, like, acknowledge that I'd jazzed myself up and all that. But he was like, well, I've actually thought that you look a lot sexier in this pregnancy. And that was news to me because obviously I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't feel how... You know what I'm saying. So, communication is also good. Because how you may be feeling and what you may be thinking is not what the other person may be feeling or thinking. Anyway, enough of that. I just felt I needed to share that with someone who might have needed a boost of encouragement. And I hope you picked up on one or two boosters, especially around the area of fear. It's like everything in this world is pushing us towards fearing rather than living your life by faith. And it's hard work, but it is worth it. So guys, don't delay. After this, head straight over to my blog and you can see the highlights that I said to you that I will share. View some of it. Please note, I'm not a professional photographer, but I just decided to do it anyway because I was going to do it. And yeah, I've chosen to share some of them with you, not the personal close-ups, if you know what I mean, but things just to like give you a bit of inspiration. With time I will be updating it because yeah, the baby's not here yet, so stay tuned. And if you're not subscribed to my blog or the vlog, you might want to do so now so you don't miss out on the updates. Anyway guys, until next time, it's one step at a time to becoming confident. See ya. And the only thing that comes to my head is like an analogy of a rubber band. You know, it's not until you're stretched that you know what you're capable of doing or you're able to do. It's not until you're stretched that you see your true potential. Because without being stretched, a rubber band is practically useless.